Hello and welcome to episode number 264 of the Launch Lounge podcast. In today's episode, you'll discover how to make your business truly future-proof, even if your favorite platform disappeared tomorrow. If you've been feeling anxious about algorithm changes or worried your business model might be too fragile, this episode will give you the exact framework to build stability without starting over, so stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of the Launch Lounge. I'm thrilled that you're here. This episode goes live on a Thursday, and if you were here last week, you would have heard me talk about the mysterious Tuesday episodes that get about half the number of downloads than the Thursday episodes do. So if you're here listening, then that means you're listening to a Thursday episode, and what you missed on Tuesday is episode number 263, which is entitled The Boring Systems That Gave Me 10 Times More Freedom. And if you love today's show, you will love Tuesday episodes just as much. I'm trying to figure out why Tuesday is a less popular day for podcast downloads than a Thursday. If you have a clue, email me at podcast@thelaunchlounge.com. I would love to know. And if you would prefer not to get an episode on a Tuesday because you'd rather have it on a Saturday, then let me know that too. It looks like most of you are listening towards the end of the week, which is great. I would love to drop the episodes when you're listening and just help me figure out the mystery of why the Tuesday episodes get about half of the downloads that the Thursday ones do. And of course, if I learn something, I'm going to share it with you as well, because you're probably also creating large form content like this. Maybe you have a podcast, or maybe you're a YouTuber, or maybe you're a blogger. But if you're creating some kind of long form content and you want to learn from my mistakes or from what I'm learning, then I'm happy to share that. So if you have any insight into why you're more likely to listen to a Thursday episode than a Tuesday one, hit me up, email me, please. podcast@thelaunchlounge.com. I would love to know. I have a mentor, someone who I have been, I followed him for a very long time. I've worked with him in the past. I was in his membership, and in the last 6 months, I rejoined his membership. His name is James Schramko. He is an Aussie, very Aussie bloke, who lives, maybe I think he's about an hour away from me, somewhere on the Gold Coast or somewhere on the Sunshine Coast, somewhere where he can surf every day. And if anybody walks the talk, it's this guy, right? James Schramko absolutely walks the talk. He has built his freedom empire, and he knows, and he's had multiple other businesses. He's also had some agencies, and he is just a brilliant, brilliant man. He's coached people like Ezra Firestone and Pat Flynn and a whole bunch of people I admire. So James, in my view, is a very smart guy. And James has a saying. James talks about owning the racecourse. And what he means by that is he's got this story that he tells about, like, when you go to the races and you bet on horses and the horses are running and one horse wins, and if that horse wins, a lot of people win a lot of money. Who's the real winner? Who is the real winner? Is it the jockey that won? I don't think so. Because the jockey, I don't know if they get paid a lot, but, it's not the jockey. It's not the horse. We know that for sure. If you live in Australia and you're around for that horsey thingy in November, I forget what it's called because I pay no attention to it, then you'll see it's definitely not the horses that win. If you are the bookie, or you're the person who wins, maybe the bookie wins, but I think the bookie also ends up giving away a lot of the money. So maybe it's not the bookie. James says the only person that wins in this analogy of horse racing is the owner of the race course. that is the only person who wins. And the reason this person wins is because they own the land, they own the platform, they own the event. Horses come and go, jockeys come and go, the people who take bets come and go. But the thing that is not going to be impacted, for the most part, I guess earthquakes might impact the racecourse, but for the most part, the person that wins is the one who owns the racecourse. And this was a valuable lesson that I learned around 2021 when iOS changes started happening and started rolling out on Meta. Now, I had heard Russell Brunson and Frank Kern both talk about a time long before I had a digital business, a time when they built these massive businesses using optimizing for SEO, optimizing for Google SEO. And they were both successful in their own rights, and they both have different stories to tell about their experience when Google suddenly decided to change the algorithm. And both of them have horror stories that they tell about how they lost entire businesses almost overnight because of SEO updates and because the SEO algorithm suddenly changed. So everything that they had worked hard to make sure that it shows up via SEO then really went down the drain. And so all of their traffic was suddenly lost. And I learned this in 2021 with iOS because I have a bit of a Pollyanna outlook on life, which is great because I'm like the eternal optimist, like nothing can ever really beat me down. But sometimes it makes for a bit of an unrealistic risk management profile, or maybe I should say a completely lacking risk management profile, because I don't often prepare for the worst. I'm sort of I don't think the worst is going to happen, and if it does, I'll be okay kind of girl, which is I'm I'm almost 45 and I'm learning it's not necessarily the best outlook on life all the time, because bad stuff happens and sometimes there's consequences for bad stuff that happens. So like when iOS rolled out and the Pixel became blind overnight, and some of our clients lost entire evergreen funnels almost overnight, and for about a year, maybe 18 months after that, everyone was allergic to Meta ads, Facebook and Instagram ads. And that was a hard thing to navigate. It was a challenging time for us. And it was definitely a challenging time for some of our clients and some of our students. I've spoken to a few people who lost businesses then. And then recently maybe last year, Google updated their SEO algorithm yet again. And again, I had to hear students talk about losing entire businesses. And it sucks, man. It really sucks. So I am taking James's advice and I'm asking myself, how do we build businesses where we own the racecourse, right? Where we own the racecourse, where we can still have businesses even if Meta goes away tomorrow. Now, I'm going to be the first person to say, if Meta goes away tomorrow, I'm probably going to have a problem. It's possible that I'm going to have a problem, but I am working towards meta-proofing my business, which is why you'll see in the last year or so when we rebranded to the Launch Lounge, the focus shifted from Facebook and Instagram ads to actually marketing and ads for online course creators. And I'm loving that shift. I'm really like kind of still settling into it a little bit, but really, really loving it. And it's opening so many new ideas for me that I can serve my clients, that I can serve my customers, that I can serve you guys, because honestly, ads, you know what I say, ads is just a fire hose, and you can send a fire hose. If you put a fire hose in front of a funnel that doesn't work, it's just going to spray everywhere. If you put a fire hose in front of a well-tuned funnel that works, then you're going to make more money. So I'm loving exploring how I can own the race course and build my business in a way that if Meta goes away or Zuckerberg misbehaves significantly enough that I'm fed up with it, or Tim Cook decide to do something and suddenly Meta is, not working the way it's supposed to be. Who knows? All I know is I would really, really, really love to have a business that's in a place where it is not dependent on the decisions of 5 or 6 billionaires. So the question I ask myself is, how do I shape my business around the needs of my audience and my customer instead of shaping it around a solution? I'm going to repeat that for you. How do I shape my business around the needs of my audience and my customer instead of shaping it around a platform or one solution, right? So how do I move towards marketing for course creators that includes ads instead of ads for course creators, right? It's the shift from meeting the needs of my customers, my clients, my students, you guys, my listeners, versus I am an ads manager who specializes in ads for online course creators. There's a difference. So there are 3 different types of revenue that I'm thinking about and that I want you to think about, that you need in your business, that's going to future-proof your business. The first one is what we call diversified revenue. It is having multiple streams of income. And they could all be ad related, marketing related, niche related, whatever your niche is. Maybe you teach crafters how to do marketing. You can have multiple revenue streams from that one niche. I'm not saying you have to have different niches. I'm saying maybe you're in a spot where you can ask yourself, how do I ensure that a year from now, I am not just reliant on one launch or one launch model? Maybe you have an evergreen funnel that is the front end of your business, that is the place where it's your low ticket offer. It's where most people find you. It's where most people enter your world, and it's where they then start working with you, which is great. Until we ask ourselves, is it platform proof? And then it probably isn't, because if your entire revenue depends on whether or not your ads are working for your evergreen funnel, and that has an impact lower down in your business, maybe that front end is where people come in and then they up level to a course, and then they up level to group coaching, and then they up level to one-on-one or something like that. If you're only relying on that one door into your world, then you're going to have a problem, especially if that one door is only reliant on ads, right? So let's diversify some revenue streams here, and let's diversify where people can come in and find you. So maybe it's time you explore Google Ads. Maybe it's time you explore YouTube ads. Maybe it's time you explore LinkedIn ads. Maybe it's time you explored Pinterest. I don't know, but let's begin by diversifying our revenue streams, first of all, but then also the platforms where we are promoting our business and where we are talking about our business and where we are meeting people and bringing them into our worlds. Maybe once you have your first successful launch or course up and running, instead of reinventing more courses for the same audience, you add a high ticket offer to the back end of that course, or you add a low dollar offer to the front end of that. It's all diversity. It's all diversifying. And we want to do all of those things. Another way you can future-proof your business is with flexible delivery. So I'm actually going through this at the moment, and I'm thinking about how I can move my audience off of Facebook groups. I have, for the moment, paused my membership. I've put it on pause because I think there's a better new version coming. And I want to give it time to really build this out and focus on it. And one of the reasons I am creating a whole new membership, creating a whole new way to serve students, is because I do not want this reliance on a platform. And I am absolutely had enough of having a paid community, a group of students in a Facebook group where you are inundated with so much other noise, and the posts in that group is subject to an algorithm. So if one of my students asks me something and that question doesn't get any engagement from other people, Meta just doesn't even show me the question, which I'm a little bit like, no, thank you. I feel we need a healthier boundary here. Your algorithm and my business, when it comes to Facebook groups, are no longer compatible for me. So think about flexible delivery. Where can you host your community where it's not reliant on a platform, or where it's not dependent on an algorithm? Or maybe it's as simple as moving it from a platform that you don't own, like Circles, or there's so many platforms, Thinkific, Kajabi, whatever, to something that you do own, like one of the WordPress plugins that you can use. I forget their names. There's one for memberships and there's one for courses. That's just a plugin that you buy for your WordPress website, and then you own it. You're never reliant just on that one platform being around. You actually own it because it is still a thing that you buy and that you custom build for yourself, right? And the other way that we can future-proof our businesses is to really think about audience-anchored offers. And what are audience-anchored offers? Audience-anchored offers are when your business model is really built around the needs of your customers, right? Around what your customers want. So I'll give you an example. I have currently an agency. The agency offers done-for-you ads for course creators, coaches, consultants. I am seeing more and more that those clients want support in terms of their marketing. But when you come to me and you hire me to be your ads manager, there's an energetic exchange that is different than when you go to a consultant and you hire a consultant to help you identify what's not working in your business and then help you fix it. Can you see the energetic difference between I pay you, you run ads for me, versus I pay you, you tell me what's wrong and you help me fix it? There's an energetic difference. So I'm at the point where we're redefining how we work with clients, and we're remodeling how we work with clients. And we're going through this phase where I am giving clients everything I can in terms of marketing, because that's the only way I'm going to learn how to support them even better. And I'll say most of my clients are blown away and they're loving what we're able to do for them on a very short notice. But the business model is being shaped by real relationships and is being shaped by real needs that my real customers have in the real world. It is no longer shaped by a certain business model that I saw, I took the the systems and structures of that business model, and I applied my knowledge and my niche to that systems and structures. I am rebelling against those systems and structures. I'm saying those systems and structures no longer serve me. Those systems and structures no longer serve where I am heading towards in terms of building a business that in 5 years from now I love even more. I am even more passionate about coming to work. I am even more passionate about doing what I get to do every day with the people I get to do it with. And therefore, there has to be a shaking off of old systems and structures. It's just how life works. It's how growth works. And so for you, I wonder if there's a reframe in your head that you can think about when you think about future-proofing your business. For me, in the past, like 5 years ago, if you asked me 5 years ago, how would I future-proof my business? The answer would have been cash. The answer would have been revenue. The answer would have been, up and to the right, more and more and more and more. Grow, 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 grow. If you ask me today, how am I future-proofing my business? It is creating resilience and stability in my business. It is not chasing the next big thing, making sure I'm first on the new platform, having that FOMO when everyone is, today. I'll never forget, there was a platform. Well, I will say that I was guilty of this because I was on Periscope, right? Shout out to anyone who remembers Periscope. I was on Periscope, and then the day Facebook Live launched, I was on Facebook Live. So I was like, I wore it like a badge of honor that I was first on Facebook Live. The day it launched, I broadcast, and I broadcast every day for about 6 months after that. I was exhausted, yes. But then I remember, Clubhouse. Then the next one that was everybody raved about was Clubhouse. And I was told we have to be on Clubhouse, right? And then recently I've sort of been through the similar thing with Bluehost, Blue something. What's this new Blue thing? Like the new, a different version of Twitter. Blue something, Blue Sky. There you go. Adobe got kicked off of Blue Sky yesterday. That's interesting. Just a little tidbit that I read somewhere. People didn't like what Adobe stands for, and they basically told them to go. Anyway, that's side note. There's a nice ADHD squirrel for you. So what I'm saying is there's all these, hot things. TikTok is another example. TikTok, everybody was loved TikTok. Everybody's excited about TikTok. And then, you get the wrong decision or a decision, it's not a right or wrong decision, a decision made by a government. And suddenly everybody loses TikTok and all of your hard work is gone. So, we're told to grow and scale for more and more and more. But I want to redefine growth and success as resilience and stability and owning the platform, owning the racecourse. And what I know now is that growth can be slow and it can be stable, and growth doesn't have to come with any hustle energy. In fact, what I'm learning is the best growth comes from consistently doing the same things over and over and over and doing them well. I've got some breaking news for you. We've just finished recording the brand new 2025 edition of our free 5-day Facebook and Instagram ads training. If you've been feeling like social media is sucking the life out of you, or you're tired of spinning your wheels trying to build your list with little to show for it, this is for you. In this completely free 5-day video training, you'll discover exactly how much to spend on ads to make them work specifically for your business. I'll walk you through step by step how to set up ads that actually get results. Navigate the ads manager with confidence, even if Zucks keeps changing everything, and boost your email list signups instead of just boosting posts. The best part? You'll get lifetime access to all the updated strategies that are working right now in 2025. And you can revisit the training anytime you need a refresher. Ready to stop guessing and start growing your list with confidence? Join over 10,000 others who've taken this course now. Head over to thelaunchlounge.com/get my ad up or click the link in the show notes. Your future students are scrolling right now. Let's make sure they find you. So what's the stress test we can do with our businesses? How do we know how fragile our businesses are? And how do we know what's really working, what to keep doing more of? I have a few questions that you could sit down and maybe next time you're journaling or next time you're thinking about which direction your business is going in, we've just kicked off Q2. So maybe now is a good time to just sit down and think about that for the rest of the year. I think the first question, if you're here, you're probably running ads, or you're probably curious about ads, or maybe you are running ads, or maybe you want to run ads. Number one question, what happens if your number one lead source platform goes away? For me, that's Facebook ads. I run Facebook ads every single day for my own business. It fills my list every single day. And the reason I keep doing it is because I'm too lazy to be consistent on social media. I know I'm going to fix that, but I've been saying I'm going to fix it for 100 years. I just don't love it. It doesn't light me up. I feel like social media sometimes to me feels like small talk. And I hate small talk. So if I can have a real conversation with someone, yes. But if it has to be a fragment of a fraction, like it's just bleh. So I'm working on it and I'm figuring out how I'm going to do reels in a way that is real. But for me, the number one source of leads is ads. And what am I going to do if that platform shuts down? What am I going to do if I can't run ads anymore? So I have to have a backup plan, which is why there's urgency around me getting my butt on reels, right? Second question is, what offers can run without you? This is a difficult one. This is a tricky one. Because, like I said in Tuesday's episode, which if you haven't listened to Tuesday's episode, please go and listen to Tuesday's episode. Like I said on Tuesday's episode, we are practitioners. We are not, or maybe I should say very few course creators ever truly become CEOs of their business, ever truly get to a place where they're not the face of the business, or where they're not the brain surgeon who actually needs to do the brain surgery, right? We are practitioners. We are the people who have the specialist knowledge. And so we will always be the face of the business. We will always be the person delivering the methodology that we developed, even if we have a methodology that we can teach to other people and then have other people teach it to other people, right? So what offers can run without you? Do you have any like evergreen offers that you can build your email list and send out to your email list so you don't have to live launch? What offers can you make while you're sitting on the beach and someone else can run the marketing for you, right? Think about that. The next one is, if my biggest source of traffic dies, what am I left with, right? If my biggest source of referrals die, what am I left with? For me, when I looked at the agency, I had to really face the fact that a lot of my clients come from Amy Porterfield. A lot of my clients are either referred to me by Amy, which I'm very lucky and grateful that I have that. But also, most of the time when people apply to work with us, where did you hear about us? Amy Porterfield, right? And as wonderful of an opportunity as that is, and as grateful as I am for that, I got to a stage in the business where I realized that is a risk. That is it's a liability. It's something that if I lost that, would I be able to buffer the loss of the business, the loss of that revenue in the business? And I had to be really honest with myself and say, well, actually, if Amy Porterfield is the reason I have a consistent stream of clients in the business, then that is a problem, because I am not guaranteed anything, and she owes me nothing. And she can decide tomorrow that she's going to retire and, go fishing with Obi every day. Can you imagine that? I can't imagine that. Anyway, she has complete freedom to do whatever she wants, and it could negatively impact me. And that is a reality that I have to consider. So what is the Amy Porterfield for you? What is the thing that consistently brings new students into your world, or consistently brings coaching clients, or consistently brings leads into your world, that if that thing tomorrow decided to pivot, or if that person, you know what I mean, if that changes, and it doesn't have to be because of some disaster, it could just be purely, oh, I'm no longer doing this, or we're no longer referring people, or we have someone else. That stuff happens. It's normal. It's human. What happens to your business if that dries up? All right. And then the last one, and this one, you might need to think about this one a little bit, is where are you relying too heavily on luck or on hustle? Because neither luck nor hustle is scalable. Neither of those things. And if you're in that stage where you haven't yet profitably launched your first course, you go all out for luck and hustle, right? You run towards luck and hustle as hard as you can, because you're going to need a lot of luck and hustle to get to that first profitable launch. That is the hardest thing to get to. But once you have a profitable launch under your belt, once you've created an offer that actually converts, it gets easier. So maybe you can take your journal and sit down and just have a moment of honest reflection without shame. There's no shame, just awareness. And this isn't about judgment. It is about gaining clarity so that you can risk-proof your business, right? When you know where your model is over-reliant on a single launch or a single platform, or even on your own energy, then you can start building some support structures and you can start future-proofing your business. Even six-figure earners often have fragile models. You can hustle your way to $100,000. I genuinely, I've seen people hustle their way to $2 million, and it's ugly because by the time you get there, everybody's burnt out. You're burnt out. Your online business manager is burnt out. Your team comes and goes. You can't keep contractors. It's ugly. I tell you, it's ugly. But when they come to us to help them scale, it can be tough to then point out the cracks and to then add cold traffic to hustled funnels, and then suddenly see your launch go from big to small to smaller to smallest because you've just dialed the temperature back so quickly because you're so desperate to get out of that hustle, and then suddenly all the money dries up. So let's evolve. Let's not burn it all down. That's a big mistake I made. I sort of semi-burnt it all down when I got to a place where I was hustled out, right? So let's talk about some simple ways to add stability without burning it all down. After I had my little breakdown in 2021 and then, iOS, and there were so many things, and I decided I needed a rebrand. We rebranded to the Launch Lounge, needed a new website, put the podcast on hold, came up with this new blogging strategy while the podcast was off, came up with some new offers. And I did it all in the same 12 months. And it was a very, very bad idea. It was a very bad idea to rebrand, take the podcast off. Like, nobody knew who the Launch Lounge is. And then they're looking for me and they're not finding me online, and I don't have the podcast anymore. So it was kind of like a burning down, right? But the solution isn't to burn it down. The solution is to build it layer by layer based on stability, one piece at a time. And that's where I'm at now. It's what I'm rebuilding. And this is what I'm sharing with you. Every time I hit record on the podcast, I'm telling you all the things about how I'm rebuilding this for stability and for long-term sustainability and to serve me. There was a time when I built the business I was told to build. But as you mature and as you grow up, you kind of go, yeah, okay, I'm going to take what I liked from that model, but I'm also going to leave what I didn't like from that model and incorporate what works for me. And it's growth, right? But I want you to think about, is there any low dollar evergreen offers you can add in front of your live launch, just so that you have one more revenue stream? Or is there a high ticket coaching you can offer at the end of your launch to have one more revenue stream? Maybe experiment with a new traffic channel. Maybe your time has come to start putting those TikToks on YouTube. Maybe the time has come to take those YouTubes and put them on Reels. Or maybe it's Pinterest time. Maybe it is time you start using LinkedIn. Maybe there is one other traffic strategy you can try outside of the one that is in your current comfort zone. Maybe you can test one more offer, like a little workshop or a mini course, something that takes you out of your comfort zone and just gives you a little bit of experience in diversifying, right? Maybe you add a paid offer to all of your thank you pages for your lead magnets. I have one on our on the lead magnet for the how to make 10K, how to make your first 10K selling your online courses. And it is the biggest joy when I see money coming in from that low dollar offer that's on my thank you page, because I'm not doing anything. It doesn't require my energy. I've already done the work. I only had to do it once. And it's up there. And not everyone who lands on that page buys it, but some do. And it's nice. It's really nice to see that little trickle of revenue coming in, right? So this is how you build a business that works next year and that works in 5 years' time. And that is Tim Cook and Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and all the whole shebang proof, because you own the racecourse, right? So let's, instead of focus on building for more, let's build for more peace. More of what works for us. More of owning our own race courses. Okay? So there you have it. The secret to making your business future-proof isn't chasing whatever is trending on TikTok or freaking out every time Meta changes something. It's about building something that can weather the storm, no matter what the algorithm decides, or however Tim Cook or Zuckerberg is throwing their next tantrum. So here's your homework, if you want. Ask yourself those tough questions we talked about. What would happen if Instagram vanished tomorrow? Would your business survive it? I hope so. And then pick one thing, just one thing you can do to strengthen that foundation. Maybe that little evergreen offer you've been putting off, maybe it's time you put that one on. Or finally get serious about emailing your email list. Seriously. Got my mum eyes on when I say that. Remember, this isn't about adding more to your already insane to-do list. It's about working smarter so that future you can sip margaritas while your systems are doing the heavy lifting. Because honestly, really, genuinely, what is the point of having a freedom empire if you're chained to your laptop 12 hours a day and stressed out of your mind? I don't want that for you. I want more peace. More sustainability. more of what's working for you in your way, in your business. We have this tremendous opportunity to build online course businesses. This thing that we carry around in our pockets that connects us with the world has given us so much. But let's build our businesses in such a way that it doesn't just rely on one platform or one tool or one solution. Let's build it in such a way that we can future-proof it so that in 5 years' time, we can all look at each other and kind of wink and go, yeah, we built it. We built it so that we love it 5 years from now. That is my wish for you, wherever you are right now, that you're loving it. And 5 years from now, you're still loving it. That's my wish for you. All right. Thank you for being here with me today. There is a podcast episode coming out this coming Tuesday because we have episodes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to keep saying that until I see that Tuesday download go up. Episode number 265 comes out this Tuesday. It is called Double the Offers, Not the Burnout, my stacked launch plan. And I'm going to share with you how you can open cart more offer without suffering live launch burnouts. I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a good weekend. Bye. Before you go, if today's episode helped you, imagine how many more lives could be transformed if other creators, coaches, and experts found these strategies too. Your shares and reviews help more course creators discover how to get their knowledge out into the world. Please take a moment to rate the show and leave a quick review. When you do, we get to reach more people and we make a bigger impact together. Because when more people who help people succeed, the world becomes a better place. Thank you.